What is up, everyone? I'm IAnthonyD and welcome back to the channel. It's good to see your beautiful faces as always. Today's video is a little bit of a weird one. There's been a lot going on in the world of Friday the 13th, enough going on that I feel we need to sit down and talk about it. I'm gonna try to do my best to break this all down. We're gonna follow a timeline here of what's going on in the world of Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th, the game. That's gonna lead us to an article that was recently released about the possible resurrection, if you will, Jason coming out of the casket, getting struck by lightning of Friday the 13th, the game. It's pretty interesting, but like I said, I'm gonna lay out the full timeline. We'll talk about it. I'll give my thoughts and opinions. And as always, I want to hear yours. So make sure to comment down below and let's talk about this. So let's start June 7th, 2023. A new game is rumored. This is the first time we hear anything about another Friday the 13th, the game in the works. It is a complete rumor. It comes from Harry Manfredini. I believe this happens at some sort of like Friday the 13th camp, like watch along type thing. Harry Manfredini revealed that he will be working on a new, as of yet unannounced Friday the 13th game being developed by a different company than the previous one, produced by Gun Media and featuring more realistic characters. The game will supposedly be done in a different style to the previous asymmetrical multiplayer title. He didn't know many other details about the game beyond the involvement, but they're still exciting to know that there's something new on the horizon for the series. Now, Harry Manfredini being the first to get news for a Friday the 13th game is very strange, because why would he be the one to do that? So a lot of people have written that off as just being a strange rumor. I will say it is important to note, as it says here, he doesn't have many details. He does lay out a lot of important stuff if this is true. I mean, for him to know that it's being done in a different style, it's going to have realistic graphics, and it's not being worked on with Gun Media is a lot of juicy information for him to give out. This leads us up to May 16th, 2024, where Horror Inc. announces the Jason universe. Jason universe is like being treated as, it's like a brand. It's like McDonald's. And they even go as far as like treating Jason, the character, as like a mascot. That we'll get to that. It's strange. I believe the only thing Jason Universe has got us is some merch at like a Comic-Con. I think they had a role in putting Jason into multiverses, which was pretty dope. But outside of that, they haven't done much other than just tweeting some emojis here and there. This leads us up to December 31st, 2024, a sad, horrible day where the rights holders demand for their servers to be shut down to the current Friday the 13th, the game. The reason I want to highlight this is because I think it's important for the timeline to show that the rights holders demanded for the rights to be shut down. It's not like Gun made that decision like financially. I think it's important to highlight here. It tells a bit of a story of a game being rumored all the way up into the rights holders telling Gun to shut down the current game servers, as well as the rights holders going out of their way to close down a lot of modded versions of the game. It does scream that something is being worked on here. Next up, May 15th, 2025, a new Jason is revealed. This is what I kind of mean about Jason being used as like Ronald McDonald and the Jason universe being the brand McDonald's, because they talk about Jason here as this is our official Jason, like for everything. That's not really how film works. Like typically the director and the writers will play a part into what Jason looks like, but they created this mask. They get Greg Nicotero to make just the body, which is so strange. The mask itself has got like, we can talk about that for days. I'm not a big fan of it. In this May 15th article, they once again mention gaming and Jason in the same sentence. We're listening to the fans and actively developing a slate under the Jason Universe banner that spans new movies, gaming, immersive experiences, collectibles, and more. Now, like I said, Jason Universe, I believe, played a role in Jason getting into multiverses. So that's what they could be talking about when they say gaming. But if we actually go back a few days, there was another article that kind of seemed to go under the radar because it wasn't really posted everywhere, of a licensing deal being made with something called Striker Entertainment. This brings us to May 13th, 2025. A licensing deal was made and an article was published from Striker Entertainment that says, Striking Entertainment has signed an exclusive partnership with Horror Inc. and Friday the 13th LLC. Under the agreement, Striker, in conjunction with Horror's CMO Sherry Khan, will oversee global consumer products for Jason Universe, the definitive umbrella brand for the iconic horror franchise. The initiative also includes Friday the 13th, the game, and Crystal Lake, giving fans a new way to connect with the legacy of Jason Voorhees through a broad range of merchandise worldwide. Now, that's where the biggest news comes from, to hear them actually say the words Friday the 13th of the game. Striker Entertainment, from my understanding, is really just, what it comes down to it, a marketing managing company. Their website says that they redefine entertainment licensing. Striker Entertainment is a cutting-edge entertainment marketing agency specializing in the extension of pop culture relevant brands into powerful and profitable consumer product programs. My guess is Horror Inc. has reached out to them like, hey, listen, we have this really strong IP that has a ton of fans. There's a lot of money made here. Can you just like point us in the right direction? They're gonna handle everything from merchandise to new toys to new games, and maybe possibly remaster of some old games. That's kind of what we're hinting at here. So that brings you the full timeline of what we have on this weird journey of Friday the 13th, the game. Now, if you want to start digging a little bit deeper, obviously with the recent announcement of the end of content for Texas Chainsaw Massacre happening at the same time this Jason Universe articles are popping up, it has led people to make that connection. It's obvious that maybe Gunn is coming back for a remaster of the current Friday the 13th the game. I have to be completely honest. As happy as I would be that the game is getting a remaster, I would be very upset to learn that Gunn would shoot TCM behind the barn just to run back to Friday the 13th. I don't think that would be a great move, and I personally don't think that it's happening. It's not unrealistic, but I think we're more likely to get a new game completely, especially if you're going off the things that Harry Manfredini said in terms of them not working with Gunn, in terms of better realistic graphics done in a different style. Again, strange source for that to be coming out of, but if you want to take that, I just don't see that game being like, unless you completely remake the game in a completely new engine, which is what they would have to do with all that money you're spending, all that time you're making remastering this game. It might just be better to just make a completely new game, maybe taking what you learned from the first game and making a Friday the 13th part 2 rather than just a remaster of the first game. I don't know. It is a weird situation, a lot of going on here, a lot of guessing. I personally, I love hearing stuff going on in the Friday the 13th world. I think the Jason Universe stuff has just been so confusing, so it's hard to get excited about it. The new Jason look is just kind of eh. And if you're talking about a remaster, Wes has been stated to say that he'll never work with Horror Inc. again. He said that on his own stream. Did things change? Did money talk? I don't know. A weird time to be an asymmetrical fan, especially like in the licensed genre, from going from like Texas Chainsaw Massacre dying to, you know, Friday the 13th coming back. It's like a roller coaster of emotions. But as always, I want to know what you guys think down below. Let's talk about it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to slash that like button, subscribe with notifications set to all. Consider becoming a member / again to support the channel directly. Until then, remember the rules to survive. Don't do drugs, don't have sex, no, yeah, don't die.